The spotlight burns my eyes as I grip the microphone, but it's the only honest thing in this room. My fingers trace the cool metal stand while I scan the crowd at the Blue Note, searching for familiar faces. Tonight marks my first performance since Lily's birth, and the energy crackling through my veins isn't just from the usual pre-show jitters. I'm Hazel, and music has always been my truth. Until now, I never had to defend that truth to anyone. The band starts our opening number, and I lose myself in the melody. Jazz has a way of wrapping around you like smoke, making everything else disappear. For 3 minutes and 42 seconds, I'm free. No diapers to change, no bottles to warm, no expectations to meet. Then I see him. Ryan slides into a front row seat, his presence as jarring as a wrong note in a perfect chord. He wasn't supposed to be here tonight. He promised to stay home with Lily, said I deserved this night to myself, but there he sits, wearing that pressed blue shirt that means business meetings and serious discussions. I finish the song on autopilot, my heart hammering against my ribs. During the applause, I catch Mia's worried glance from behind her piano. She knows Ryan's presence can't mean anything good. "Thank you all," I say into the mic, forcing a smile. "We're going to take a quick break." Before I can reach the edge of the stage, Ryan's already standing there, hands in his pockets, his tell for when he's about to say something I won't like. "We need to talk," he says, reaching for my elbow. "I'm in the middle of a set." "It's important." His fingers tighten slightly. "About our future." The green room feels smaller than usual as he closes the door behind us. My sequined dress catches the dim light, throwing scattered reflections on the walls like tiny distress signals. "Where's Lily?" I ask. "With Mom and Dad. They're more than happy to help," which is actually what I wanted to discuss. He leans against the makeup counter, blocking my escape route. "They've offered to help us financially, so you can focus on being a mother." The words hit me like ice water. Being a mother doesn't mean I have to stop being myself. "Nobody's saying that, honey." His smile doesn't reach his eyes. But you have to admit, trying to juggle everything isn't working. The late nights, the irregular schedule, it's not fair to Lily. Not fair to Lily or not fair to you. Don't be difficult, Hazel. Mom and Dad are offering us a fresh start. They can help manage your career, handle the business side of things. You could still perform occasionally, but in a more controlled way. The mirror behind him shows my reflection, and I barely recognize myself. The woman staring back looks trapped, cornered. "And what about what I want?" "What you want?" He laughs, but there's no warmth in it. "What about what's best for our family, for our daughter?" Through the thin walls, I hear the band starting up again. They're covering for me, buying time, but the message is clear. I need to make a choice. "I have to get back on stage," I say, moving toward the door. Ryan steps in front of me. "We're not done discussing this." "Yes, we are." I meet his gaze. "For now." As I push past him, his words follow me like a shadow. "You can't keep running from reality, Hazel. Sooner or later, you'll have to grow up." Back under the spotlight, I grip the microphone again, but this time it feels different. The metal is cold and foreign in my hands, like everything else in my life is becoming. The audience waits, expectant, unaware of the fault lines cracking beneath my feet. I open my mouth to sing, but for the first time in my life, I'm not sure what truth will come out. The Sunday brunch table feels like a battlefield, with Doris's china plates as landmines and Harold's investment proposals as ammunition. I watch them pass the syrup while they pass judgment, their smiles sharp as razor blades. "The market's absolutely perfect right now," Harold says, cutting into his waffle with surgical precision. "With Hazel's talent and our connections, we could triple her income within a year." Ryan beams at his father, while I feel Lily squirm in my lap. She's picking up on the tension, the way babies do. 3 months old and already more perceptive than her father. "I appreciate the offer," I say, bouncing Lily gently, but I'm happy with my current management. Doris reaches across the table, her manicured hand covering mine. Darling, we're family. Who better to trust with your future than family? The word trust coming from her mouth tastes like poison. I pull my hand away, pretending to adjust Lily's bib. More coffee? Ryan stands abruptly, already reaching for my cup, his tell when he's trying to diffuse a situation. I should check on the quiche, Doris announces, her heels clicking against the hardwood floor as she retreats to the kitchen. Harold leans forward, his voice dropping. Ryan tells me you're still performing 4 nights a week? That must be challenging with a newborn. I manage, but should you have to? He spreads his hands in a gesture of false concern. Our offer would give you more time with Lily. Isn't that what matters most? Before I can respond, my phone buzzes. It's Mia. 911. Call me ASAP. Excuse me, I say, standing with Lily. Diaper change. In the powder room, I balance Lily on the changing table and call Mia. They're making moves behind your back, she says without preamble. Sam just called. Ryan's been meeting with Vertex management. My stomach drops. Vertex is notorious for buying out artists' rights, stripping them of creative control. How do you know? Sam's cousin works there. They're drafting contracts, Hazel. Big ones. Lily starts fussing, and I cradle her closer. Ryan wouldn't. Wake up! He already is. Through the door, I hear Doris's voice. She just needs a gentle push in the right direction. Every mother struggles with letting go. I end the call and step into the hallway, where Ryan and his parents huddle in conversation. They scatter like cockroaches when they see me. Everything okay? Ryan asks, too casually. Perfect. I hand him Lily. Actually, I just remembered I have a meeting with the band. New set list. Now? His face tightens. It's Sunday brunch. Music doesn't take weekends off. I grab my purse, already heading for the door. Neither do lies, apparently. What's that supposed to mean? But I'm already gone, the sound of Lily's crying following me out to the car. My hands shake as I grip the steering wheel, but I force myself to drive normally past their windows. Let them think I'm just being difficult. Let them think they still have the upper hand. At the coffee shop where Mia waits, I order the strongest espresso they have. My friend's face is grim as she slides a folder across the table. Sam got copies, she says. It's worse than we thought. The documents inside detail a complete takeover of my career. Performance rights, royalties, creative control, all tied up in legal language that makes my head spin. They need my signature, I say, but even as the words leave my mouth, I remember signing papers Ryan had brought home last week. Insurance documents, he'd said. Check the last page, Mia says quietly. There it is, my signature on a preliminary agreement dated 5 days ago. The coffee turns to acid in my stomach. I can fight this, I say, but my voice sounds hollow. You'll need proof of coercion and deep pockets. I think of Lily, of the life I want for her. Not this web of manipulation masked as family loyalty. Not this slow suffocation disguised as support. Then I'll get proof. I close the folder, my mind already racing ahead. And I'll make them regret ever thinking they could own me. Mia's eyes widen slightly. Hazel? No, I cut her off. They want to play family? Fine. Let's see how well they handle a real family crisis. As I drive home, I think about the careful facade Ryan and his parents have built. How satisfying it will be to watch it crumble piece by precious piece. They think they're protecting their investment, but they've forgotten something crucial. Cornered animals fight the hardest, and I'm just getting started. Ryan's laptop sits open on his desk, like a confessional, the blue light painting shadows across his home office. 3 a.m., and here I am, hands trembling as I scroll through emails I shouldn't be reading. Lily's midnight feeding gave me the perfect cover. Ryan sleeps like the dead after taking his anxiety medication. The first email makes my stomach turn. Regarding artist management acquisition, H. Morris. My maiden name, reduced to a business transaction. There are dozens more spanning months. Timeline confirmed for contract execution. Preliminary paperwork filed. Projected earnings report attached. A new message from Doris catches my eye. Remember, darling, this is for her own good. Artists need guidance, just like I needed it back then. The floor seems to tilt beneath my feet. Back then? I dig deeper, finding buried correspondence about Doris's own failed music career 30 years ago. The pieces click together with sickening clarity. This isn't just about control. It's about reliving her own crushed dreams through me. A floorboard creaks behind me. Couldn't sleep? Ryan's voice is thick with artificial drowsiness. I close the laptop slowly, turning to face him. Just checking tour dates. At 3 a.m.? He leans against the doorframe, trying to focus his eyes. On my work computer? You're right, silly me. I move to pass him, but he catches my arm. While you're here, he says, we should discuss the Vertex meeting tomorrow. My pulse quickens. What Vertex meeting? Did I forget to mention it? His grip tightens slightly. Just a casual lunch. You, me, Harold, and their legal team. Legal team? I keep my voice neutral, though rage burns in my chest. For lunch? Standard procedure. He releases my arm, swaying slightly. They're very interested in your potential. My potential? I laugh, and it sounds like breaking glass. Or my profit margins? His medication-addled brain takes a moment to process my tone. Why are you being difficult about this? I saw the emails, Ryan. The words hang between us like smoke. His face shifts from confusion to understanding to something darker. You had no right. No right? My voice rises despite myself. Like you had no right to sell me off to Vertex? To let your parents orchestrate this whole thing? Keep your voice down, he hisses, glancing toward Lily's room. You're being hysterical. Hysterical? You forged my signature. His expression hardens. I did what was necessary. You're too emotional to make these decisions. These decisions? I step closer, forcing him to meet my eyes. About my life? My career? Our life, he corrects. Our future. Everything I've done is for us. No. The clarity of the moment is stunning. Everything you've done is for you, for your parents, for their twisted need to control everything they touch. He reaches for me again, but I dodge his grasp. Hazel, you're not thinking clearly. Let's talk in the morning when I'm more compliant. I grab my phone from the desk. When Doris and Harold are here to help you manipulate me, don't be dramatic. His words slur slightly. Where are you going? To check on our daughter. I pause at the door. And Ryan, call your lawyer. You'll need one. I hear him fumbling with his phone as I walk away, probably calling his parents. Let them come. Let them try to contain this. In Lily's room, I gather essentials with mechanical precision. Diapers, formula, the stuffed rabbit she can't sleep without. My baby stirs but doesn't wake as I lift her from the crib. It's okay, sweet girl, I whisper. Mama's got you. My hands shake as I text Mia. Need that spare room now. Her response is immediate. On my way. Through the wall, I hear Ryan's muffled voice. Mom, she knows. No, I don't know how much. Yes, I took my pills. What do you mean, contain it? I cradle Lily closer, her warm weight anchoring me to reality. They thought they could own me, control me, break me down into manageable pieces, but they forgot something crucial about musicians. We know how to read between the lines, how to hear the notes that aren't being played, and right now, every silent note is screaming for revenge. Through the window, I see Mia's headlights cutting through the darkness. It's time. They wanted to write my story for me, but they're about to learn what happens when you try to cage a song. The night air hits my face as I step outside, carrying my daughter and my fury into the waiting darkness. Behind me, Ryan's voice rises in panic, but I don't look back. Some bridges are meant to burn. The recording studio feels different at midnight, emptier, colder. I sit at the mixing board, replaying the same 30 seconds of Ryan's biggest client's new single, searching for the perfect flaw to exploit. Something subtle enough to pass quality control, but devastating enough to matter. Sam leans against the door frame, his usual steady presence now tinged with concern. You sure about this, Hazel? Once we alter these masters, they altered my life without asking. I adjust a frequency, introducing a nearly imperceptible distortion. Fair's fair. There's fair, and then there's career suicide. He moves closer, lowering his voice. Ryan's lawyers called the label again today. My fingers freeze over the controls. What did they want? To discuss your mental state and its impact on your ability to perform. He hands me a paper cup of coffee. They're playing dirty. They haven't seen dirty yet. I take a sip, but it tastes like ash. Did you get what I asked for? Sam pulls out a USB drive. Everything from Harold's private server. But Hazel, some of this stuff, it goes beyond your situation. The drive feels impossibly heavy in my palm. What do you mean? Doris wasn't just a failed singer. She was systematically pushed out of the industry 30 years ago by Harold. My stomach lurches. Her own husband? Before he was her husband, he was her manager first. Sam's voice drops further. Sound familiar? Before I can respond, my phone buzzes. Mia's text makes my blood run cold. Ryan at my place, looking for you and Lily, bringing cops. I have to go. I grab my bag, but Sam catches my arm. There's more. The pattern repeats. Harold does this to talented women, breaks them down, then builds them back up under his control. Doris wasn't the first. You won't be the last. The implications hit me like a physical blow. How many? At least 5 that I can document. All rising stars. All eventually disappeared from the industry. Most ended up married to business associates of Harold's. Through the studio window, I see headlights sweep across the parking lot. Ryan's car. Back door. Sam whispers, already moving. I'll stall them. I slip through the dark hallways, my heart thundering. In the alley behind the studio, I call Mia. Is Lily okay? Safe with my sister, she answers. But Hazel, they're saying you're unstable, that you kidnapped her. They're building a case. A laugh bubbles up, bitter as medicine. Of course they are. It's what they do. Break you down, make you doubt yourself, then sweep in to help. What are you going to do? Through the back door, I hear Ryan's voice. She's been acting erratic, officer. We're just concerned for our daughter's safety. My fingers tighten around the USB drive. I'm going to break their whole system down. Hazel, no, listen. This isn't just about me anymore. They've done this before. They'll do it again. Someone has to stop them. I end the call and slip deeper into the shadows as footsteps approach the back door. My mind races through possibilities, through the names and dates Sam mentioned. Other women, other lives destroyed, other daughters who might one day face the same manipulation. My phone buzzes again, an email from Doris. Come home, darling. We can fix this together. I understand better than anyone what you're going through. I bet she does. She's been through their manipulation machine, came out the other side so twisted she now helps operate it. But she made one crucial mistake. She helped target another mother. The back door opens, spilling light into the alley. I press myself against the cold brick wall, holding my breath. Check the parking lot, Ryan's voice carries. She has to be here somewhere. In my pocket, the USB drive contains enough evidence to destroy them all. But using it means going nuclear, means becoming the very thing they accused me of being: ruthless, calculating, destructive. Then I think of Lily, of the future they had planned for her, of other daughters, other mothers, other lives waiting to be consumed by their machine. Sometimes the only way to stop a fire is to start a bigger one. I slip away into the darkness, already composing emails to every music industry contact I have. By morning, Harold's carefully constructed empire will be nothing but ashes, and from those ashes, I'll build something stronger, something honest, something they can never control. The industry newsletter hits like a bomb at dawn. Rising star's husband linked to music management scandal. My phone explodes with notifications as Ryan's biggest clients start jumping ship. One by one, they're all discovering the technical issues I carefully planted in their recordings. I rock Lily in the pre-dawn darkness of Mia's guest room, watching the chaos unfold on my laptop screen. 3 record labels have already launched internal investigations. Harold's name keeps coming up in increasingly uncomfortable contexts. My phone rings. Doris. I let it go to voicemail, but her text follows immediately. You have no idea what you're destroying. Some things need to stay buried. A knock at the door makes me jump. It's Sam, looking like he hasn't slept in days. They found me out, he says without preamble. Harold's lawyers are coming for the studio. They know I helped you access the servers. My throat tightens. I'll fix this. There's more. He hands me a manila envelope. One of Harold's previous victims reached out. She wants to talk, but she's terrified. Says she has proof of something bigger than industry manipulation. Inside the envelope is a single photograph. Harold and Ryan, 10 years ago, standing with a group of men I don't recognize. On the back, written in shaky handwriting, "Ask about Geneva." My phone buzzes again, an email from Ryan's lawyer. Custody hearing moved up, tomorrow 9 a.m. They're trying to box me in, I say, more to myself than Sam. Force me to either back down or lose everything. Maybe it's time to back off, Sam suggests quietly. You've made your point. Have I? I show him the photograph. This goes deeper than we thought. They're not just controlling careers, they're destroying lives. Lily stirs in her sleep, and I adjust her blanket. My daughter, who they wanted to mold into their next victim, who they'd groom just like they groomed me, just like Harold groomed Doris. Another text from Doris. Meet me, alone. There are things you need to understand before it's too late. Sam reads the message over my shoulder. It's a trap, obviously, but something in her tone nags at me. The desperation feels real. My laptop pings. Another news alert. Ryan's biggest client has not only dropped him, but is filing suit over the compromised recordings. The client's statement mentions systematic manipulation and industry-wide corruption. It's working, Sam says. The whole house of cards is falling. But at what cost? I think of the custody hearing, of Sam's career hanging by a thread, of all the relationships burning in this fire I started. My phone rings again, an unknown number this time. When I answer, a woman's voice speaks quickly, quietly. I'm the one who sent the photo. We need to meet. There's something you should see before you go any further. Who is this? Someone who tried to fight them 10 years ago and failed. Someone who knows what they do to women who don't play by their rules. The line goes dead. Moments later, an address appears via text. Sam reads it and pales. That's Harold's old office building, the one that burned down in 2013. The pieces start clicking together. The photograph, Geneva, the fire. Something happened there, something they buried along with all their other secrets. Watch Lily, I tell Sam, already reaching for my coat. Hazel, wait, think about this. If you go digging into their past is my future if I don't stop them. I kiss Lily's forehead, and her future too. My phone lights up with another message from Doris. Last chance, meet me, or tomorrow's hearing won't go the way you think. Two meetings, two versions of the truth, two paths forward. One could save my daughter, the other could destroy everything I've built. Or both could be traps, designed to silence me, just like they've silenced others. The sun is rising now, painting Mia's spare room in shades of gold and shadow. In a few hours, I'll either have the proof I need to burn their whole empire down, or I'll lose everything I'm fighting for. If I'm not back by 8, I tell Sam, get Lily to my parents and release everything we have to every news outlet you can find. Sometimes the only way forward is through the fire, and I'm done being afraid of getting burned. The burned out office building looms like a skeleton against the morning sky. I check my phone one last time. Still no word from Sam. The mysterious woman who called about Geneva should be here any minute. Instead, I find Doris waiting in the charred lobby. I knew you'd come here. She stands near a blackened reception desk, looking smaller somehow, more human. After all, this is where it started, where it always starts. Where what starts? The end. She pulls out a familiar-looking USB drive, identical to the one I have. Did you really think you were the first to try bringing us down? My stomach drops. How did you get this from Sam? Her laugh is hollow. Because he's been working for us from the beginning, dear. Just like everyone else in your life. The floor seems to shift beneath my feet. You're lying. Am I? She gestures around the burned space. Ask yourself who gave you access to those servers, who pointed you toward the evidence, who made sure you found exactly what you were looking for. My phone buzzes, a text from Sam. I'm sorry. The betrayal hits like a physical blow. All this time, I thought I was the one setting the traps. The custody hearing starts in an hour, Doris continues. But there won't be much to discuss once the judge sees evidence of your mental instability. Breaking into servers, sabotaging recordings, paranoid accusations. You orchestrated all of this. We gave you the matches. You chose to burn everything down. She steps closer, including your daughter's future. My phone lights up again, news alerts flooding in. My own face stares back at me from industry websites, alongside headlines about mental breakdowns and criminal investigations. It's already done, Doris says softly. The papers are being filed as we speak. Full custody to Ryan with supervised visitation after you complete mandatory treatment. You can't. We already have, but there's still a way out. She holds up a contract. Sign over your rights to the music, admit to emotional instability, agree to treatment. We'll make sure you can still be part of Lily's life. Through the broken windows, I hear car doors slamming, footsteps on gravel. That's the police, Doris explains. Sam provided quite detailed evidence about your activities these past weeks. My hands shake as I pull up my messages to Mia. Get Lily out, now. The response is immediate. Already done. But Hazel, there's something you need to know about Ryan. The message cuts off as my phone dies. Perfect timing. It's over, Hazel. Doris's voice is almost gentle. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. The footsteps are getting closer. Through the haze of panic, a detail finally clicks. Why this building? I ask. Why meet here? Something flickers across Doris's face. Fear? Because of Geneva? The word makes her flinch. What happened here, Doris? What really burned in that fire? Don't. Was she like me? Like the others? Did she fight back too hard? You don't understand what you're... Then help me understand. I step closer, even as the footsteps reach the door. Tell me what happened to Geneva. Tell me why you're really here. For a moment, I see something crack in Doris's carefully maintained facade. Then the doors burst open, flooding the space with uniformed officers. Miss Morris? One approaches with handcuffs. You're under arrest for cybercrimes and harassment. As they read my rights, I keep my eyes locked on Doris. She won't meet my gaze, but her hands clutch the contract like a lifeline. Wait, she says suddenly, her voice shaking. There's something. But Harold appears in the doorway, silencing her with a look. The mask slips back into place as she turns away. They lead me out into the harsh morning light, past news cameras that appeared from nowhere, past Ryan standing with his lawyers, past the life I thought I was reclaiming. But I saw it. That moment of doubt in Doris's eyes, that crack in the foundation. As they put me in the police car, I think of Lily, safe with Mia, of the unfinished text about Ryan, of Geneva, whoever she was, and the truth that burned with this building. They think they've won. They think they've broken me. But sometimes you have to lose everything to see what's really worth fighting for. And I'm just getting started. The holding cell door opens with a metallic screech. I expect more officers, maybe lawyers. Instead, Mia stands there, holding a manila envelope. You have 5 minutes, the guard says. Mia waits until we're alone. Geneva was Doris's daughter. The words hit like a thunderbolt. What? Her first daughter, from before Harold. She slides the envelope through the visiting window. I found her death certificate. The fire wasn't an accident. My hands shake as I read the documents. Geneva Morris, 19 years old, aspiring singer, dead in a suspicious fire at her father's recording studio, the same building where Doris had me arrested. There's more, Mia says. Ryan knew. He's been blackmailing Harold with this for years. A knock signals our time is almost up. Mia leans closer to the glass. Doris is willing to testify against all of them. She's been keeping records. Why now? Because of Lily, because history's repeating itself. She glances at the guard returning. The hearing's been delayed. Technical issues with the evidence against you. I understand immediately. Sam's carefully constructed paper trail is falling apart. One more thing, Mia whispers. Ryan's at the old studio, destroying evidence, right now. The guard approaches. Time's up. Wait, I call to Mia. How did you get me out? She smiles grimly. I didn't. She did. The guard removes her cap, revealing Doris's face. We have exactly 17 minutes before they realize I'm not Officer Chen. The hallway blurs as we run. Alarms start blaring. Someone's noticed something's wrong. In the parking lot, Mia's car idles with the door open. Harold will be at the country club, Doris says as we drive. He always hides there during a crisis. But Ryan is trying to bury Geneva again, I finish, along with everything else. The burned-out building appears ahead. Ryan's car parked haphazardly outside. Smoke drifts from a second-floor window. He's burning it all, Doris whispers, just like before. I'm out of the car before it fully stops. Inside, the acrid smell of burning paper fills the air. Footsteps echo above. Ryan! My voice bounces off charred walls. The footsteps stop. Then, should have taken the deal, Hazel. I climb the scorched stairs, following his voice. Like Geneva did? Silence. Then a bitter laugh. Doris told you. You knew. All this time you knew what happened here. I knew an opportunity when I saw one. His voice comes from behind a partially burned door. Harold's guilt was very profitable. I push the door open. Ryan stands by a metal trash can, flames consuming documents inside. The Geneva photo sits on top, edges curling in the heat. It was never about the music, was it? I ask. Or me? Or even Lily? It was about winning. He drops another handful of papers into the fire. Something you never understood. Neither did Geneva. His face twists. Don't say her name. Why? Because she fought back? Because she wouldn't let Harold control her career like he controlled Doris? Because she was weak. He hurls the words like weapons. Just like you're weak. Just like your mother? Doris's voice makes him freeze. She stands in the doorway, phone recording everything. Tell me more about my weakness, Ryan. Tell me how you used my dead daughter to blackmail your way up the industry. His mask finally cracks. Mom, I'm not your mother. Her voice could freeze fire. I'm just another woman you tried to break. Police sirens wail in the distance, real ones this time. It's over, I say quietly. The evidence, the blackmail, all of it. We're done being your puppets. Ryan lunges for the burning can, but I'm faster. The files scatter across the floor, some burning, some intact. Among them, a familiar contract catches my eye, dated 20 years ago, signed by Geneva Morris. She wouldn't sign it either, Doris says softly. That's why I let them. The sirens are closer now. Ryan looks between us, between the burning evidence and the open window, calculating his odds. Don't, I warn, but he's already moving. He makes it 2 steps before Doris's taser drops him. As he convulses on the floor, she looks at me with tears in her eyes. Take care of Lily. Don't let her inherit our chains. The police burst in, for real this time. As they read Ryan his rights, I watched Doris retrieve the photo of Geneva from the flames. Some fires cleanse, some destroy, and some, if you're brave enough to walk through them, show you the way home. The spotlight feels different tonight, warmer somehow, like sunlight instead of scrutiny. The Blue Note is packed, but I only see Lily in the front row, her tiny hands clapping along with the rhythm section. My fingers trace the microphone stand, the same one I gripped that night when everything started to unravel. But this time, I'm not searching the crowd for approval or permission. This next song, I say into the mic, is called Geneva's Echo. In the corner booth, Doris stiffens. She's been coming to every performance since the trial, sitting in the shadows like a guardian angel with too many regrets. Our eyes meet briefly before she looks away, dabbing at tears she pretends aren't falling. The melody starts soft, building like a storm. It's the song I found in Geneva's old notebooks, hidden in the ashes of that burned-out building. Her last composition, never performed, until now. The newspaper headlines flash through my mind as I sing. Industry mogul Harold Morris sentenced. Ryan Morris pleads guilty to conspiracy. Systematic abuse in music industry exposed. But those aren't the real victory. The real victory is in the stack of letters on my dressing room table. From other women, other survivors, sharing their stories, starting their own bands, recording their own albums, breaking free. The song reaches its crescendo, and I catch a glimpse of Sam being escorted out by security. He still tries to come sometimes, claiming he wants to apologize. But some betrayals don't get second chances. Mia's fingers dance across the piano keys, weaving harmony through Geneva's melody. She's more than my accompanist now. She's my partner in the new record label we started. No more predatory contracts, no more stolen dreams. The final note hangs in the air like a question. In the silence that follows, Lily runs up to the stage, her curls bouncing with each step. I lift her onto my hip, feeling her heartbeat against mine. Again, Mama, she demands into the microphone, making the audience laugh. One more song, I promise, but not Geneva's. That one belongs to history now, preserved but not repeated. As I start the next number, I notice Doris slipping out the back door. On her table, she's left an envelope, another piece of Geneva's story, another shard of truth to add to the mosaic we're building. The industry papers call it a revolution. They say we're changing the game, creating spaces where artists can thrive without selling their souls. But they're missing the point. This was never about changing the industry. It was about breaking cycles, about making sure no other mother has to choose between her art and her child. No other daughter has to burn for someone else's ambition. After the show, I find a new letter in my dressing room, not from another survivor this time, but from Ryan. His 4th attempt at contact since the sentencing. Like the others, it goes straight into the shredder. Some people say forgiveness sets you free, but sometimes it's the permission to never forgive that really liberates you. Lily falls asleep on the drive home, clutching her toy microphone. In the rearview mirror, I catch a glimpse of a familiar car, Harold's old Mercedes, now driven by one of his victims as a trophy of justice. At home, I tuck Lily into bed beneath the dream catcher Geneva's mother sent us. A family heirloom passing to a new generation of unbound women. My phone buzzes with a text from Doris. She would have been proud of all of it. I don't respond. Some bridges stay burned even after the smoke clears. But as I pass the hall mirror, I notice something different in my reflection. Not just strength or survival, but something rarer. Peace, not the kind that comes from forgiveness or forgetting, but the kind that grows in the ashes of necessary fires. Tomorrow, there'll be more songs to write, more battles to fight, more chains to break. The industry isn't fixed, it's just been put on notice. But tonight, in the quiet of my daughter's room, watching her dream without fear, I understand what Geneva knew all along. The most powerful note isn't the one you sing, it's the one you refuse to let anyone silence.